Are you looking to advance your character design skills? Visit silverjoinacademy.com. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Art Talk. So today what I wanted to talk about is the importance of negotiating and working with new clients. This is something where a client may reach out to you through LinkedIn. They may reach out to you through your email, through Instagram, through any form of social media. And the first thing that you have to do in any situation when you've been reached out from a client is research. You have to look up the company. You want to find out if they're legit. How long have they been around? Are there any complaints about them? If you're not finding any information about them, that may be a red flag. So it's something that you got to just go with your own discretion on it. But there's some safety features that you can do just in case that is a situation. So that's first things first, is research this company, see if they're legit, see if there's any complaints. The next thing you're going to do is you want to try to set up a call with these clients, all right? That's very important. It's about building confidence within yourself, but also meeting with them, whether you meet with them over Zoom, where you meet with them over Google Meets, just trying to actually get a face connected to what it is and the company that you're going to be working with instead of just email. Not to say you can't just do email or you can't just do a phone call. That's another good thing to do, is just do a phone call with them and see if that'll work. But having that correspondence starts to make it a little bit more legit, and you start to get a better understanding of what they want. So when you're in this meeting, this is where you just get to meet them face to face, or you get to talk to them, find out a little bit about their needs, what it is they're looking for. That's the next thing. Something that's going to be very important is they may want a quote from you. They may say, how much do you charge? Don't ever answer that question on the phone or in a meeting with them. Always let the client know that what you'd like to do is just get down all the details, find out exactly what it is they need, and that you will send them a quote when you're done with the conversation. That gives you time not to panic and freeze up in a meeting where you're just like, I don't know, and you say a number that you wish you never said, and all of a sudden you hung up and go, oh my God, I can't believe I charged so little, or something like that. So this gives you time just to catch your breath, all right? Very important. And at that point, then you want to put together your proposal, right? Put together a proposal that really just breaks down each of the things that you're working on. So for my initial rough designs, it's going to be this much. For doing a cleanup is this much. For doing a color is that much. For doing turnarounds, expressions, whatever it may be, is this much. So you start to itemize all the things that you're working on so they understand where the cost is coming from and what the cost actually is. And then you have your total. And then from there, that you're going to move that forward to the client, send it off to the client, email it to them, and wait to hear back. Sometimes you might never hear back from them, and that means that you just dodged a bullet. All right, so don't be embarrassed, don't be upset. It just means that they weren't probably going to be a good client. Any decent client will get back to you if they really want you and say, hey, listen, I got your proposal. It's just a little bit over our budget. Is there anything else that we can do? And you got to find out from them, well, what else? What would you like to eliminate? Or how quickly, what can I cut on my end so that I can bring the cost down for you, right? So you're trying to work and negotiate with the client, and that's the next thing. And another thing is most clients will want to send you an NDA. That's a non-disclosure agreement. Don't be afraid of NDAs. You don't need to have a lawyer look over it or anything like that. They're pretty straightforward. You want to just glance through it, make sure that it's not saying that it owns every single piece of your artwork that you've ever created on your website, right? If someone snuck something crazy in there, most likely not going to happen. But basically it just says that you're not going to post any images on your social media. You're not going to talk about it. You're not going to, maybe they might have it in there that you're not allowed to put it in your portfolio. That's something that you can mention to them, that once this project is out and it comes to fruition, I want permission to put this in my portfolio to show other clients what I've worked on. So that's totally legit to be able to do. And then from that point, that's pretty much it. I just had some notes here. Oh yeah. And then the last thing really from there is once you submit your proposal, well, the next thing is for them to provide you a contract. So at that point, you want to get a contract from them. And when you're dealing with clients who are overseas in different countries, different states, it's going to be hard to kind of track them, especially if something went horribly wrong. Are you going to sue them? Are they going to sue? Probably not. It's probably not going to happen, but it's still very important to get a contract. And if you have to sue them, at least you got something in good standing and written and signed by them just to make it a little bit more legit. Again, when you're playing around with different country laws, it makes it a lot more difficult, and really good luck trying to get anything from them. And the last thing that I would say is I don't send clients anything without getting some money up front. Again, that's sealing the deal. That's like a handshake, and that's in good faith. That means that, listen, you've looked at my website, you've seen my artwork, you know who I am, you know what I do, you're hiring me because you believe in my skill set and what I can provide. What I'm asking for you is to get 50% up front, if not all of it up front, before I even send you anything, because there's been so many times where people will take the artwork and from that initial sketch phase, and you'll never hear back from them. They didn't even need you to do a cleanup. They didn't even need you to do turnarounds. They needed nothing else from you because they can hire someone else to do that. It actually happened to a good friend of mine on a pretty big property where he was asked to do a bunch of sketches and designs, and that was the last he ever heard of them. They ended up having their team doing the cleanup and color and using some of those exact designs that he did and putting them on shirts and licensing and everything else. And it was for a real popular game app at that time. So people can be pretty shysty and screw you over. And this is why I try to get as much money up front. That's where all the ideas are up front. If you're doing initial sketches, those sketches can influence a shape language, it can influence a hairstyle, a costume design. Any of those things are viable to making an effective character, and that's why you want to charge the most for those initial sketches. And then the production stuff, the cleanup, the turns, the expressions, the poses, that's all really secondary compared to the initial design, because that's the hardest part, is coming up with the design, right? That's where all the research is and your development. So that's why you want to charge the most for that. All right. Anyway, I hope this helps. Be sure to check out and keep watching all the other art talks that I have up on my site. They'll be very helpful for you. Again, feel free just to jump on in the Silver Drawing Academy. Check it out, and I hope that you continue to just grow and continue to draw and continue to learn. And with that said, I shall talk to you next week. Take care. Join SDA for less than $1 a day and drastically improve your skills at silverdrawingacademy.com.